In the winter of 2005, BBC Birmingham hosted a revolutionary new interactive television experience. Birmingham University, the local museum and art gallery, and the BBC worked together to chart a new direction for public space exhibitions. With a carefully selected collection of 3,500-year-old artefacts, the interactive exhibition was brought to life. 7 days a week over a 6-week period, the public had free access to this exciting pilot project, coinciding with the landmark BBC One series, Egypt.
Is it all dug out?
We're ready.
Marvellous. Just marvellous.
It's part of our remit to work closer with local audiences. We know museums are already doing this, and rather than try and compete with museums, we want to work with them. You pay your licence fee, you only get one chance to see it on television. Here you get a chance to experience it again and again in a local context and to get more out of the local establishments around you.
What we wanted to do was to tell a story and encourage people to take an interest in genuine artefacts. The artefacts had to be ones that were generally available across museums around the whole UK. A major challenge for us was knowing exactly who those people were going to be, who our audience was. Museums have all kinds of people, young and old, going into them, and they have people who know a lot about Egypt and they have people who know nothing about Egypt. So our expected audience was very broad.
People have come across it because they've dropped in, or they've come here specially because they've heard about it. And people of all ages have used it, little ones and grown-ups, but they've all enjoyed it because they all enjoy finding out about the story.
I've learned about Tutankhamun and how he has a half-sister, and the things that I didn't really know, I got to learn them much better than before.
I found this exhibition as an experience absolutely fantastic. It was really all completely new to me. I was rather familiar with the objects. Of course, I'd seen them in our own museum and in the City Museum, but the way they're put together and the combination of an old 1920s travel experience and cutting-edge technology really makes for an entirely new experience, I think.
In the public space at BBC Birmingham, props from the series Egypt, information boards, authentic costume and video loops immerse the visitors in a gripping story.
Communication with the press is only allowed with the Times. I will not tolerate any exceptions. Do I make myself clear? All he's responsible for is stirring up trouble and writing malicious gossip like that bloody curse story.
Exhibition visitors are invited to take part in a 1920s journalistic investigation about the curse of King Tutankhamun. At the exhibition registration desk, budding journalists, in groups or as individuals, enter their details and log onto the system to start the mission. They take their card to one of the interactive zones, enter the card into a reader, and the story begins.
I want you to go to Egypt and find this Count Hammond. I need to know if he's genuine and what the facts are. So, you'll need to find a map of the Nile to locate the Valley of the Kings and the name of the town.
The user now needs to leave the interactive screen, take away their card, and do some simple research. If the visitor replaces the card before sufficient time has elapsed, the system responds accordingly.
You have not had time to find the information you need. Go and do your research.
This feature also allows other visitors to access the terminals. On their return to the interactive zone, the visitor is presented with a simple game to prove that they have done the necessary research.
Where exactly do you want to get to?
By completing a simple puzzle, the user is rewarded with a continuation of the narrative.
Excellent! If you leave now, you can just make it to the next boat.
The on-screen characters drive visitors around the exhibition space, giving clues and instructions as required.
Oh, and don't forget your press card. You'll need it when you get to Egypt. Oh, and watch out for the mummies!
Inside each press identity card is a magnetic disc which will identify the visitor to the system and deliver the right content in the correct order at the appropriate time to the user, on demand from any terminal in the exhibition.
The editor has already sent word.
Need more on curse story? Stop.
You'll be wanting to know more about the mummified hand, no doubt,
how it came into my possession.
In a cycle of narrative, challenge and game, the exhibition visitor becomes more deeply immersed in the story, constantly proving their knowledge with a series of simple, on-screen games. The visitor is rewarded at every turn with engaging drama vignettes.
You've betrayed me! Get out! Get out now! I've contacts, you know. I'll make sure you never work in Fleet Street again!
Ah, so the Count has given you the brush off again. It seems he has an answer to everything. But do not be disheartened. You have completed the assignment. I suggest you start packing and I'll send word back to the UK. I just need to know what headline should be on the Count's story. Is he a fraud? Or do you believe in the power of the curse? You must decide now.
According to their personal understanding of the story, the visitor dictates the front page spread for when the story breaks.
Stop the presses. I want a new front page. This is going to sell our papers. We've got the scoop.
On completion of the quest, the system prints a personalised front page featuring the correspondent's name and chosen headline, providing a perfect souvenir.